I was working as an archaeologist when the nightmare began. The giant mountain monster that had slept for decades suddenly opened its eyes. In that moment, my blood ran cold. The staff at the base sensed it too. Something was horribly wrong. This mountain brute has a temper like a bomb. He once leveled half a city by himself. The experts panicked and rushed to start the UV defense system. Ultraviolet light is the only thing this monster fears. But then the dumbest accident in history happened. Someone knocked over a cup of coffee onto the controls. In an instant, the UV system died on the spot. The brute looked down and noticed his hands were chained. I could feel a fire of rage exploding inside him. Without a word, he snapped the chains like they were thread, felt death coming and ran. But I was already too late. A second later, the brute punched the elevator away with a single blow. My colleague grabbed me and dragged me out just in time. In the blink of an eye, the entire research base fell into pure chaos. Some people were so scared they just froze. The next second, they were nothing but dust under the monster's feet. Faced with that giant body towering over us, the survivors did the only thing they could. We sprinted for our lives toward the exits, but just as we escaped the research base, the monster burst out from underground again. Strangely, he didn't attack us at all. He turned away and started walking toward the city center. That one choice opened the curtain on a disaster the world had never seen. Soon, the brute reached a bar on a mountaintop. Inside, people had no idea death was walking outside their door. They were still singing, drinking, and dancing like nothing mattered. They didn't know the noise had already enraged the monster. In the next second, he ripped the bar's roof off with one hand. He lowered his huge head inside and stared at the crowd. The foolish people still didn't sense the danger. Some even pulled out their phones to take pictures. Only when the monster's hand reached down toward the crowd did they finally realize something was wrong. Everyone started screaming and rushing for the exits. The ones who ran fast were lucky enough to survive. The people at the back were not. They went straight into the monster's mouth as his meal. That attack finally forced the military to act. To wipe this mountain brute out, they launched helicopter units into the sky. Blinding UV light blasted down onto the monster's body. His skin burned and smoked under the beams. But taking this brute down was never going to be that easy. While the pilot was celebrating too soon, the monster made his move. He ripped a power pole out of the ground. He hurled it straight at the helicopter. The chopper exploded in midair in a ball of fire. Watching his comrades die, Commander Chris was swallowed by rage. His team shouted at him and pulled him back from losing control. Just when everyone braced for another attack, the monster did something strange. He suddenly stopped fighting. He showed a twisted, eerie smile. Then he turned his head and walked away. It was obvious his target was not the military at all. He was going somewhere else with a purpose. After facing this monster twice, I finally understood the truth. We could never defeat him by force, so I chose another path. I led a group of people into a forbidden cave, because another mountain monster lived inside that cave. I wanted this one to talk to his own kind for us. I wanted to end the hatred between humans and monsters once and for all. When we reached the deepest part of the cave, I picked up a stone. I tapped the rocks with a special rhythm my father taught me. It was a way to summon, not provoke. My father had taught me long ago how to call a mountain monster. Sure enough, after a short ritual, a small mountain monster slowly appeared before us. Everyone else was frozen in fear, afraid to move or breathe. I simply raised my hand and touched the monster's face. Since I was a child, I've had a strange gift. I can communicate with mountain monsters. So I used that gift to explain why we had come. This little monster was surprisingly gentle. He agreed at once to come outside with me. The next day, I walked out into the frozen snowfields. I fired a signal flare into the sky. I used it to lure in the giant brute that had been slaughtering innocent people. As the huge monster slowly walked toward me through the snow, the trap was set. From a snowdrift nearby, the small mountain monster crawled out to face him.